Well, everybody, woo, we are back here once again on another Sunday for the Cloud9 podcast, season 8, episode 12. And this is going to be an interesting episode because we're going to cover LCK, LEC, and the LCS. Actually, I haven't got a chance to watch the LPL playoffs yet, but I have been making sure I catch up with all the League of Legends action because we are going to be at Worlds very, very soon. So as I mentioned before, a few weeks back, starting when we were going through like the LCS and LEC when they first started, that we're gonna be doing content like this for the rest of the year, essentially, up until the season really doesn't end until Worlds is over, and then after that, as for the month of November, you have all the off-season stuff too. So the league season technically doesn't end until like the end of November, honestly.
No,
and the LCK usually gets their off-season done in December, so it's pretty much just year round for the most part, honestly. But
just like the play season ends, but like you still got the off season with all the news that comes out,
all the roster moves,
yeah.
And then that doesn't really get figured out until like mid-December. Then everyone's doing their power rankings. Then you have like those preseason tournaments, and then you're back in the season starting. You know what's the rumor? Is that Riot might implement the LEC's format for all the major regions. So it'd be 3 splits. I think after spring it'd be MSI, and then after that you would have, or it would make room for another international event. So thinking like after winter, international event, after spring, international event, after that, summer, well, obviously Worlds.
I wouldn't have no issues with this stuff for one thing.
No championship points. Those are just trash.
Get that the fuck out of here.
I like the LEC format, but dude, it was proven back in the day. Championship points are garbage. That's a garbage system. I personally think, like you said weeks ago, if you don't make it when in the split that it really, really matters to get to Worlds, that's it. That should be the only thing that really matters.
Like fucking XL.
Like if you can't make top 8 in a 10-team league, you shouldn't be making top 8 to begin with. I'll watch your ass and making it past that shit.
If XL and Team Hyrax get screwed because of championship points, well, Mad Lion still makes Worlds with a championship point. That's BS.
And this thing, would you really want Mad going to Worlds at this point? The motherfuckers are on a 9-game losing streak. They haven't won a game since like week 2.
Yep.
Like they played their best game against Fnatic yesterday, and it didn't even matter at that point because their team is just so disjointed. They can't even properly sync up a fucking dive comp properly. It's like, bro, what are we doing here? If you can't even sync up a dive comp properly like that, even when you're going back and forth like that with another team, get the fuck off the stage. Like, oh my lord. And before we go to the LCK to start off with, Lebrov, as of today's play, is one of the worst supports in the league. Lebrov is garbage. That guy is trash. How does this guy keep stealing paychecks? Tell me, someone please, how does Lebrov keep stealing paychecks? That guy is terrible. Did you see that guy's Nautilus plays?
Yep.
Was he trying to just throw the whole season? Please tell me he was trying to throw the whole season. Because no way they thought that was actually like acceptable gameplay. That guy is bad, like really bad. And like Adam got, how you about to get your ass fucking gapped by Evie? Really? You got gapped by Evie? Get the fuck off the stage. Done. I don't need to see you anymore. You're drunk. Go home. So they're drunk. Also, let's just dive into it because we don't have too much time today. As you guys know, Sundays are really busy for us. We got to do this show. Then about like an hour from now, we got to do the Yu-Gi-Oh show. And then I got to get this Market Watch done for you guys. Pokemon Market Watch, I had the tabs open for that. I want to run it over with you for a second, though, because I have an idea for the first Pokemon Market Watch I want to do. I want to try and do it like a nice little nostalgic one. And we're going to run through that. And then after
those
that,
might be the better ones to start off with because
I was going to start from like base Shadowless, Kanto, and then work my way up.
Yeah, because the one I'm telling you around, the one for like Scarlet and Violet, or them prices is dropping. It is dropping. Like cards that used to be $150 are now $90.
That's a dropping. That's a big drop. $60 drop right there. That's freaking. Oof,
yeah, it's like a 30-40% drop.
Mm-hmm.
He's like none retaining value. But that's because people are just cracking open packs. And Pokemon packs, the Pokemon cards don't retain value unless they have a nostalgia feel to them.
Okay, before we go down to the other stuff with Pokemon, do you think bulk is better? So you think Yu-Gi-Oh's bulk is better over time than Pokemon bulk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Yu-Gi-Oh's bulk is a set rotation. You'd have a common from like LOB hit like $6, but a
Yeah.
common from Pokemon won't be that way because it's out of rotation. It doesn't
The
matter
only
anymore.
unless it's Wizard of the Coast bulk. That's the only anything after Wizard of the Coast, it gets reprinted so much.
Yeah, value you just can't keep.
You
The
can
value,
literally
honestly.
pull the same cards 3 times in 3 different rarities in the same pack. You can literally pull up. I see someone pull up and uncommon Iono pulled a reverse hollow because now that's considered a hollow, and then they pulled the ultra rare Iono. They literally damn near had their one off from having a play set of Iono.
They pulled everything, really?
They pulled 3 different versions of Iono in one, and their deck they played only needed 3.
Do you think it's Pokemon's way of just inherently killing the value of their main core booster sets in the future?
They don't see it as killing the value. They see it as keeping it budget and new player friendly. Because their main thing is they know older players and people that got money are going to buy the high card. They know that. They don't care about that. Because they know, okay, cool. Once the cards get sold on TCG player, we have no value. That's why when we have people come to these events, we have that and people say, oh, it's marked up. It's not marked up because there's no other place that sells those products. A markup is me having a deck box that costs $15 at my store, but then you go to Target, it's worth $24.99. That's a markup because you get it at the market value should be the value. It should be the lowest, but a lot of times
MSRP, right?
Yeah, MSRP is depending on what that store values it at, plus how much it costs them to get it in per individual product.
Because I know how Yu-Gi-Oh does it, where the stores have to sell it at what Konami says they have to sell it at. But let's be honest, they ain't checking for that shit.
Pokemon's not even like that. Their thing is once it's no longer in print, is being a manufacturer, and or the card is no longer in. I think it's like this Pokemon, because the way they do it is you pump out so much product. If you I just bought some Lost Origin packs. If you buy packs that are in Lost Origin is 3 sets old or 4 because 5 if 4 base sets old and 5 if you include Crown Venus. That is 5 sets old. That it's still going to maintain MSRP at stores that have to sell at MSRP because they don't want to lose any value on it. Like a hobby store like my locals or Skybox that's across the street, they can sell it at whatever price once it matriculates past a certain date. It's whatever price you want to sell it at. If you take it out of the box, if you buy a booster box and take the packs out, you can sell the packs at whatever value you want. Blister packs are the ones you have to sell at MSRP because they were individually sold at a price in bulk, and then you have to mark it up to get your value back. That's economics. And that's how Pokemon now. It's where people say, "Oh, it kills the value." They don't give a fuck about the value because they know you go to these international championships, you're gonna want to buy this one-of deck box. You're gonna want to buy this plushie, this thing you can only get here because once they say they stop selling, but they sell it at the Pokemon store and they see when you go to the Pokemon Center, a lot of times they mark it up there. But then buy $150 worth of product, you get free shipping and you get this free promo card. And the promo cards, I got a promo card I never bought something. The promo card is worth $150, and I only spent $55 at the Pokemon Center.
That's crazy.
Because it says spend over this much, you get this card. And the card wasn't worth much until they realized it was a 2-week window that you was able to buy a product, but you could only buy it. They didn't tell you can only buy a certain product. And not that they did tell you, but the way they told it, some people don't read. But yeah, it's the whole thing. Yep.
All right, guys, let's dive into the LCK 2023 summer split. And here is the updated standings. So these teams have locked playoffs: KT Roaster, Gen G, Honda Life Esports, D+ Kia. Those are your top 4 right now. Yeah. Obviously, we need to have the other 2 slots filled up. The match of the week was Genji versus KT, and KT fisted Genji so hard I thought I was watching fucking Lena the Plug get Jason loved.
Yeah, they clapped on. T1 lost to Brian. Like I said, without Faker, they have no identity. None of the other players are stepping up to be the leader. Like that's why when you
they're not even stepping up in gameplay. That's even the worst part.
That's why
they could even okay, they don't have Faker. I understand that they missed the guy. He did a lot for them. I understand.
He might have did a lot more than we realized. But
the thing here is there's no excuse to be playing that bad.
There's no excuse, but we don't know how much he was implemented into that system. We don't.
But do you think they play more confidently when they had Faker around? Because this level of gameplay is like really bad. They're messing up basic combos.
Maybe he keeps them accountable. He keeps them accountable. He might at times he might see something that Gumayusi might not see. Owner might not see. Plus they said it on the. I sent you an interview this morning with Zayu. They said
it's Ashley King, right? Yeah.
They already said they was messing up with Faker, but Faker was at least able.
Yeah, dude. I remember watching their games first part of the split with Faker. I was like, there's some cracks here. This is definitely looking sus.
But at least with Faker, he was able to minimalize it. It got worse once you took him out. It was like scrims they're doing great because he's there, but he said there's something about his health is his rehab is working, but it's not accelerating the way it's supposed to be. This is what I'm thinking. I think his wrist injury is worse than they're letting on.
Has to be, yeah. He hasn't had any injuries for the better part of almost a decade playing this game at the highest competitive level. All the scrims, all the fucking international event scrims.
I think all that wear and tear finally caught up to him. I think at a point where
because the recent interview with Tom, because Tom in season 5 was Bengi's backup jungler. I don't know why they had him for whatever reason. They were doing that swap out bullshit back in the day in season 5. And he's an interim head coach. He had mentioned the fact that they want Faker ready and well rested for playoffs. Given how that Zayus interview went, I honestly don't know if he's going to be here for playoffs. And this thing,
I think he will.
Even if he just is here for playoffs, I don't know if he's enough for them to mentally rebound from how mechanically bad they've been playing. Dude, literally a few nights ago, I saw Gumayusi walk into mid lane, fog of war, when he knows he shouldn't be there with no vision and just die. I'm like, bro, fake.
Guess what? No one keeps him accountability after he does that because he been
Carrier should be. Right,
but MSK, you remember how you said, "Oh, these roles should be the leaders." I said that's bullshit because it comes to who has the most experience. Carrier might be able to, but
it all depends on can these players be the leaders, right? Or
but guess what?
They're capable of to be a leader, but not everyone can be a leader.
They either might not be ready or they don't have the confidence to. Like Faker is the only one that has the confidence.
All those T1 fans. I mean, a lot of people seem to underestimate how big the T1 community of people actually are. I know people call it a meme. No, people they actually some of the T1 brand did. The T1 brand started catering to these like mentally ill, crazy fans. Like these people are like straight up mentally ill to the point where like if a big thread of theirs on their accounts and like in Korean social media gets upvoted, the org might actually do it because they're the ones that really suggested on their Reddit account and stuff they have in Korea that they bring in Bengi. And a lot of these people right now are going crazy. It's like, oh, fucking burn the org down, fire everyone, start over. It's like, okay, you can't do that mid-season. That's not possible. And given how their challengers roster is going in the LCK challenger scene right now, it's that they're like ninth last place, you know? I mean, who do they have left? I think on their schedule, who do they got left? They have a rematch with DRX. They have a telecom war. Ooh, God. They face arguably one of the worst teams in the league and one of the best teams, honestly. Yep. That's not good. Then week 9, they face Guangdong Freaks and they face Live Sandbox to end their season. So if they can string together 2 BO3 wins, they can get in.
Hopefully, but
to be fair, at this moment in time, they are 3 series ahead of these guys right now.
Plus, all they gotta do is get to 8 wins because DRX is if once T1 gets to 8 wins, DRX is out.
Yeah. I saw the graph last night. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then non-rush force is also going to be out.
Bro, I mean, if Bro goes on I doubt Bro's gonna have a 4-series winning streak. They ain't getting it. I mean, given their strength of schedule, it's possible. They face Live Sandbox. They beat T1. That was
but didn't T1 beat them 2-0 in the first half?
What's crazy is that they never actually lost to Bro ever up until Faker left.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. So these are Bros. They face Live Sandbox, Nangshan. They have the easiest strength of schedule. Except Genji. Ooh, this matchup is. If they win this and they go 8-10, they might have to play a. Yeah, weapon.
No, because I think does the T1 because didn't T1 2-0 in the first half of the split?
Yeah. So I forgot they have the match record. What's it called? They have the record win.
Yeah. It wouldn't be tied because they'll still be down 3-2 in match record.
Yeah,
they got 2-0. Mm-hmm. That's me.
I mean, I know a lot of people said they hope they make playoffs. I mean, they need to really dig deep, and I don't know what they can do. Honestly, like the level of gameplay is really bad. Faker not there has made a massive impact on their team play overall. I mean, they need to make a simplified comp and just play that out. Play out the most simplest shit. Play Nami. Tristana mid with Malzahar. I don't give a fuck what you do. Play the most simple, basic shit. Play Gragas Maokai comps. I don't care what you do. Play simple shit. They're trying to, without Faker, dude, they're trying to play some hype. It's like they can't execute that shit without him there. That's not happening. They ain't playing no fucking,
because they
got
no
Orin comps without Faker.
No leader now. It's like
Owner doesn't trust his instincts. Zeus is just doing literally random shit. Random shit.
Zeus is trying to carry the team, but it's like he even said it.
I respect it.
Confidence. At least with Faker there, he tried to talk to everybody. He's trying to.
Kumusa and Carry are too mentally broken right now to even attempt to play.
That's what I'm saying. You saying Carry's supposed to be the leader? I don't even think Carry wants to be here. You see him? He's
not anymore. Yeah, you're right.
Because Gumayusi's out here just doing what the fuck he wants. It's like
he's out straight up just griefing games.
This looks like 100 C's last year. Minus, Abadagi was there, but it like at one point closer some they were doing the fuck they were in the top lane in the jungle. Abadagi was just there. And FBI and Hoogie were fighting at each other. I mean, these two are not fighting, they're just like
they're just meant. It's a Korean thing where like if you lose faith in your lane partners, you just break down. You just don't talk to them. They've given up on each other. I know I've seen this happen many splits, many years of watching even if Faker comes back, how could he fix this? You would have to be a miracle worker to fix this. They literally have lost faith in everybody.
SOB have to be one of those.
Dude, let's be honest here. All 4 of these guys hate or think their mid laner shit. All right, so all the 4 players on the team think their mid laner shit. They probably think that Gumayusi shit right now because he's literally griefing every game. Yeah. At unimaginable levels. Carrier can't do anything because his fucking ADC is always running it. Zeus is trying to carry, but they're gonna give this guy fucking Maokai. Not Maokai, my bad. Or Sion, really? Gonna give your carry top laner Sion, really?
Poby's always losing top lane. Every time
Poby can't do any macro plays. He can't play the mid game. He can't play the late game. He barely has an early game. Like, Owner can't trust his instincts when he's playing shit like Lee Sin and Sejuani. It's just, I pray they can just string together 2 best-of-3 wins. They're gonna lose. They're gonna most likely lose the KT series. But if they can get this DRX win and they can get, who do they face in week 9? If they can get the DRX win and if they can get Kwangdong or Live Sandbox, they got a chance to get in.
Yeah,
they need to play really easy shit. They need to go back to basics just until Faker gets back, and then play your more complicated shit when Faker's there.
They just need to have faith in what they're doing. It's like
they have no faith in their plays. They have no confidence they can even pull their plays off anymore. Honestly, if you're telling me that freaking the way Carrier and Gumayusi have been playing, they can play bot lane better than that. There should be no reason on this earth they should be losing 2v2
but to fucking issue. That was the thing with Faker. He kept on combo when they fucked up. Why do you think Faker was the toughest on Gumayusi? Why do you think he was the toughest? Because he knows he could do better.
Well, Gumayusi's brother apparently is one of the most legendary StarCraft players, so people hold
Yeah.
Gumusi in high regard to his brother. So maybe it's something like, you know, they want to keep him.
And that's the fucked up thing. He's not his brother. That's
Yeah.
like if your brother was like this.
It's like the Jonathan Washington, the guy who was in Tenet, his dad. I forget. Oh my god, he was in
John David Washington. I know.
Washington.
Yeah.
You know, like his dad. Everyone kind of compares him to his dad. You know, it's the same thing. It's like, well, your brother is so good, and you got to be this, and this. It's
you
like,
mean father?
Father, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're not your father, you're not your brother. It's like that's the whole thing too. It's like when they see what they see what they accomplished. Oh, you should be doing the same thing too. You're like, nah, because it's like StarCraft is different from League of Legends.
Very much different. Big, massive difference. Yeah,
that's
because you know how LS always brings up his StarCraft days. I'm like, LS, I like you, but StarCraft is so much different from League. It's not even close.
That's why I kind of watch that bullshit you talk about T1. It's like he was making points, but when he was talking about Gumi I was like, dude, you can't keep comparing him to his fucking brother. It's like that will mentally boom anybody.
The difference here, it's like if I was a competitive, well, obviously I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, but it's like comparing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh to like League of Legends. Be like, no. It's a much different game when you're playing with 4 other people and you have to worry about 4 other people than just yourself. It's a massive difference. They're actually not even comparable in any sense.
It's like playing 1v1 Yu-Gi-Oh versus a team the 3v3. Like you know, every time I've seen players how to carry a team and they would just hope one of their teammates would get a win. I've seen people say I don't like doing 3v3. That's why Konami don't do it as much because players are like, we like it, but it's one of those things where
it's a lot more hassle than
because sometimes the best teams are the ones that just get put together the last moment. I don't have any expectation. They're like, what deck you playing? I'm playing Labyrinth. What deck you playing? Branded. Okay, I'm playing Permanent. All right, cool.
What's up, man? I won my League Cup today. I got 50 more Worlds points. Oh, hell yeah, man. Congratulations, dude. Awesome, bro. Now, if you got any hot Pokemon chicks that want to sleep with me, just let me know about that, okay? Papa Smithy, he'll be on FlyQuest later on. Poby really does suck. Like, you can't really play with a guy like that. He's just he's just either not ready or he's just simply so incompetent it doesn't matter. Could be a combination of both, honestly. Could just really be just that. Oh, all right. Yes, that's pretty much it for the LCK. I mean, Hanwha got their win over T1. I mean, I'll say this right now. If T1 even had Faker, there a lot of these wins that these other teams are getting over them right now. It wouldn't be happening. Like Hanwha Life wasn't even the conversation when Faker was on T1.
I'm there right now. If Faker was still there, the only team they would have lost to was KT and Gen.G. Those are the only 2 teams they lose to. They would be 14-4.
Mm-hmm.
They might have beat KT again. They might have. Like KT was one of those teams where it was.
They always seem to play well into KT just because.
Yeah, Gen.G was on a roll to KT, but
this is my problem with the Gen.G KT series is what were they trying to have Delight do? Like, because Lehens was just fisting Delight all around the map, just fisting him, just all in his blood.
I don't know.
Then they could just ban the Alistar away from Lehens, but they just let him have it again. And I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I saw that draft and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm not about to sit here and watch this shit. I'm not about to sit here and watch drafts.
I was the same way I saw that. I was like, yep.
Did they let him have Kaisa and Alistar again? I was like, I'm good. I'm going to bed. I know, guys. I was like, I'm not watching that. That's just draft gap to the fucking fullest. I love my.
Kaisa needs to be auto banned. No, Kaisa needs to be auto banned immediately. Like Kaisa mid, Kaisa ADC. Nah, just ban those 2 immediately. If you see if you have a chance to like Kaisa needs to be your first auto ban. Just. But I can play. No, shut the fuck up. No, nobody.
I don't care what you can play into it. How about we just ban it so we don't have to play into it? I don't know League players do that. They're like, I can play into it. How about this? How about we don't play into it and you don't got to go run and feed? I'm good with that.
Also, be players like, no, but I can play it. No. Just ban it. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. It's like the people who are always like, I can beat Teemo. You can. The person just always goes 0-10 against Teemo. Yeah, I got camped, dude. The jungler was never there.
That's like when people were banning Lucian Nami and it was just getting murked. You remember? Yeah, no,
Or they would let Zeri go through. It was Zeri, Lulu versus Lucian Nami. It's like the only bot laners they would play constantly, mixed in with like a Philios here and there.
And I was just,
And they were like, why don't you just ban Zeri out? They're like, I can play against. I could just beat her.
And talking about champions that need me to ban out. Now we can talk about the LCS. Like
LCS. Oh yeah, before we go, KT Rolster, Keen will be my MVP if he keeps playing the way he does. He's been playing so well this entire split. I'm glad he bounced back from last year when he had a really, really rough year. Yeah, KT is the best team in LCK right now. There's really not much else is there, honestly. Genji, their strength of schedule remaining is Live Sandbox and DK this week.
Yeah.
And then you have T1. Yeah, they face T1, don't they, next week?
Yep,
No, they
T1
face
T1.
Genji face Hanwha, Bro, DK,
sorry.
Live Sandbox.
Yeah, no, KT faces T1. Yeah, never mind.
Keen versus Revenge at Worlds. Revenge would get shit stomped to the fucking floor. Keen would open his butthole and just shit on him. God, Revenge is such a fucking fraud. But whatever. We'll look at that in just a moment. All right, so let's go to the LCS, actually. So the LCS 2023 Spring Split has concluded.
Immortals got eliminated. FlyQuest, biggest disappointment. Not even close. They're biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
People are saying, 100 Seeds. No, it's FlyQuest. FlyQuest was the biggest disappointment. It's not even close. FlyQuest.
As much as 100 Seeds had a really, really bad season, at least they made playoffs at least. They kind of they clutched out BO1s that they needed to win.
Once beers in left and freaking
I mean, dude, literally after week one, you could tell this was going to be one of those. It's as a sports fan, when you see like certain weeks, you're like, you could tell week one you're gonna have a rough week just with like a few games to play. Actually, a show match of Vitality versus FlyQuest. How about I not watch that? That sounds like ass. That just sounds like cancer there.
That's FlyQuest winning because
I'm pretty sure FlyQuest will win that. But Vitality looked like absolute turbo.
Is Vitality playing Bo or are they playing their backup?
If they play Bo, just give FlyQuest a series.
Because every time Photon gets caught out somewhere, y'all just let him die. Y'all don't even try to save him. Y'all just like, yep, you fucked up.
So this is how the standings shook out. You have Cloud9 finishing back-to-back first place in spring and summer. Golden Guardians having their best regular season ever. They finally got past 9 wins, and they even up getting 4 more after that. To hit up 13 wins. This is their best regular season ever. EG finishing third. They benched Armao, that fucking fraud, for Sheedan, actually. Yeah. Team Liquid. Let's just say they got there. They got there at the end. They got there. I wouldn't really say they're the 4th best team.
No, they are. There's no other team. I'm not putting NRG's team.
I think they're about tied with NRG.
No, NRG consistently inconsistent. They are it.
Well, you have to have a place for them, don't you?
NRG.
Unless you're gonna put them 5th.
NRG 5th. I'm telling you why. They could beat Cloud9 and lose 100 Seeds. I don't understand this team. I don't understand. Like when 100 Seeds was better, they beat them. But when 100 Seeds was worse, they lost them. I don't understand NRG. Please, no. I don't understand them.
Well, you might be right. Yeah, I mean, aren't they playing against each other in the first round?
No.
Let's see. No. They
100 Seeds and Digger are in the bottom. That's me. They have to wait for whoever loses in the first round on the top side to go down. That's me. They got about a week and a half off, something like that. Like
100 Thieves, yeah, and then definitely gonna need it pending that double lift news that we just found out about today too, which is really bad actually.
What happened? I've been busy all day.
Oh no! Apparently he went to the hospital. He had some sort of like eternal bleeding issues going through.
I went to local today.
Yeah, I forgot. I knew they were gonna face
not
each
a
other.
league cup, but it was a league challenge. I went to another locals. One was Ting Lu.
Yeah.
Don't ask. Yeah.
All right. So let's go over.
When you win, I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go over the rest of the standings. So Immortals, they got rid of Revenge, which I think was the right move at the time for Solo. Then they ended up keeping Kenvi for whatever reason. Just okay. Then they got Balulu in. Who was their mid laner before? I forgot their mid laner. Fuck.
Who?
It was Who was their mid laner before Balulu? Jeez, it was that dog shit dude. Oh, it was Blaze Olive. Holy shit.
Blaze Olive, yeah.
Then they kept Tactical, and then they got in Treats for full ass.
Yes. Yep.
And they had, I think, the longest active losing streak until they beat 100 Thieves, yeah. And then they won a few more games after that, but
they lost the next one, and then they won a few more.
Yeah, because this is how most splits go, guys. If you have a losing streak that huge, it's very unlikely to make playoffs because given the fact that you're almost 10 games behind another team, you'd have to literally bank on other teams beating each other for you to have a shot at even making the playoffs, actually. Plus, this team was terrible anyway. This team was dog shit for the most part of it. I mean, they had I think Balulu had a few games that were somewhat stand out. Kinvi is just invisible trash. I know Tactical was thank you guys for your support this year. Motherfucker, you've been the worst ADC in the league for almost the whole year. I don't want to hear you speak at all. You trash. None of this roster is staying together. There's no way you can keep these guys together other than maybe Treats probably stays if he wants to keep playing because he just came in the split. But yeah, this roster is completely ass. They did them getting, I think that this is the fourth split in a row. They got back-to-back 9th, 10th place finishes.
Yep.
They haven't made playoffs
since 2021.
Was it 2021? No, they haven't made playoffs since 2017, actually.
2017.
That was old Immortals, which were actually good. New Age Immortals is because they messed up on their franchising application, so they weren't accepted initially with franchising. Then they came back in 2021 when they bought, I think, one of the
That's when once they came back in, they haven't been good. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. This org is so bad now. It's oh god. I mean, because
progressively bad. Gotcha.
Yeah, because a lot of people be like, their social media is trash. Guys, I don't give a fuck what their social media is like. The fucking players are awful.
everything about them trash. That's what people are just saying.
Right, and like I mentioned before, I know a lot of people are like, why can't you hire ex-pros to be coaches? Smithy, one of the best junglers in LCS history, was their head coach. There are some pro players that can't be head coaches, like Sven Skaren. He's a head coach of Dig. I mean, I'm not making a one-on-one comparison because they're both the best LCS junglers ever, but I would never see someone like a Smithy as a head coach. I'll just say that. That is not a head coach, dude. Just saying. And I really don't know why they would even accept Kinvi as their jungler after what happened last split. It's just throw the whole roster. How about just start over except for Treats? Keep Treats because he literally just got here the split. I would hate to have him just come here for a whole, one split and just leave. Keep Treats. Rest of the roster. Yep. Trash it up. Give me the trash bag. In the trash. All right. FlyQuest. I don't know where to start.
They were the worst. To me, they were the worst team. If it wasn't for Immortals, they were the worst team. They are bad. They are just horrendous.
You know what's really interesting about this roster is people were talking about the TL Super Team last year. That TL Super Team almost made Worlds and actually made playoffs both splits. They just underperformed when it really mattered in those big moments. They almost got to the big moments though. FlyQuest, this split, didn't get any big moments. They could barely even string together more than double-digit wins, actually. So FlyQuest this year there was the Winsome Ayla drama. Then you bring in Vulcan. You could tell off week 1 they're about to look like some shit. Then they had the Spyrax random drama. They throw a game away with that guy. It's like, what? It's just crazy. They throw one random game away with Spyrax. Vikla, who did have some pretty standout games when they came back. Yeah. To be fair, their last few games actually looked pretty good. Outside of the Cloud9 game, they actually looked good in their last few games. But you know what happens, guys, in sports? It's too little, too late. It's too late. Doesn't matter if you have good games toward the very end when you're already double-digit losses. It doesn't matter at that point. You can't make it. And people were like, but they're playing good now.
No, they were close to making it. It was one of those things where there was a chance that
it's basically if 100 Thieves won a single game over them, they would get in. That's all that would happen. 100 Thieves needed to win a single game, and they did. They beat who they beat. 100 Thieves ended up beating NRG. You're right.
NRG. Yep, they ended up beating NRG. But the issue is FlyQuest was screwed because Dig kept winning. If Dig was the team that was
That was
Okay.
yeah.
Because once Dig beat 100 Seeds, FlyQuest is screwed. That's when.
And then 100 Thieves beat NRG. You're like, all right, FlyQuest, you're making that's over.
Now you're done because the team that you lost 3 plays keeps losing, but you can't win. That means you would have to be literally one game because if both of you are tied, I think because due to this, there would be no tiebreaker. You just get screwed.
Right. Yeah.
Because
that's the problem with losing that many games early on in the split. Because if you lose all your because if they're going to compete with teams like Dig and 100 Thieves and TSM, then you can't just be dropping all your games to them. Those are the teams you're competing with to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
So since they dropped all their games to 100 Thieves, they dropped all their games to fucking Dig and TSM. Well, they dropped every game to the teams that they're supposed to be just right there at their level with. So they're screwed either way, you know?
Yep.
And then, I mean, it's Papa Smithy left 100 Thieves to be a part of FlyQuest. Now, he did say the roster was already made before he got there. So, I mean, that's what he says. Take it with a grain of salt, obviously. It's just been a terrible year from them from summer, just in general. I mean, spring, at least they made it to the third place match, at least.
But that don't mean shit when you still get left at home.
Well, and then also because I know people mentioned that, but even if they made it to the third place match, but their games were terrible. They were playing like ass.
Third place in the spring ain't the same as third place in the summer. Summer with third place, you still go to Worlds. Third place in MSI, you're not.
Because for me, your third place would somewhat hold a little bit of weight if you actually played good to get to that third place. It's not like they played good to get to no, they played like shit to get to that third place spot. They were getting ass stomped in their, and they got destroyed by the other teams in the playoffs to get to that third place spot. Literally, I mean, I personally think if 100 Thieves had beat Golden Guardians, I think they make it to the finals themselves, given that momentum string that they had. Because after that, let's be honest, EG's not beating them at that moment in time. EG would already cracked and destroyed at that point. So, yeah, they made it third place in the spring, but I mean, they were pretty sus at that moment in time. They're like, hey, we can just get rid of Ayla, get Vulcan in. Makes sense, obviously.
And then I told people Ayla wasn't the true problem. He was part of the problem. Not the whole thing.
Yeah, I was just mad. Because we shared the same sentiment. Yeah, because we had shared the same sentiment. It's like he's a problem. Like, don't get me wrong, he's an issue, but he's not the main issue. Like, no way. That Ayla being an issue does not give Vikla an excuse to run it down as much as he did this entire year. He basically has been running it down since like week 4 of spring. And you know how long it's been since that? Spring was in fucking like February, January, maybe?
March.
Yeah, he's been turtle shitting it for like the last 2 months and almost 3 months, honestly. You know, I think Impact had some standout games in their wins and losses, but top lane at this pro level is somewhat irrelevant if you have the rest of your map as weak as they are. Like Prince had some standout games. I mean, all of them had standout games.
Prince was inting. He was just inting way too much.
He turned it on when there was no pressure. Remember, he started playing really well when there was no pressure on him anymore.
Yeah.
Spica had no good games because if they want to get rid of that guy, he was pretty bad for most of the year. Though I don't know why his stock is so high. I've never seen him as that good. Honestly, that's just me personally. I mean, if he goes to a different roster next year and performs, maybe. But yeah, FlyQuest and Immortals, their season is over at this point. It's done. Now we're going to go on to the 8 teams that make playoffs. You have 100 Thieves, Dignitas, TSM, NRG, Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, Golden Guardians, and Cloud9. Starting off with 100 Thieves. Okay, so this is how the last week went. Basically, they need to win one game to be ahead of FlyQuest to make it the playoffs. That's it. It basically, you win a single game, you're in. Keep in mind, guys, Closer had been actually running it down for 5 weeks. It had been so bad. He had not even participated in the first 15 minutes of the game. It had been that bad. That's basically like your jungler. They've been basically playing 4v5 the entirety of the split.
It was through 5v5 because he did have pressure. The biggest issue was it was ISO play for the first 15 minutes. Because your bot lane was always fucking diving into some dumbass team fight. Lucio would misplay, get caught, or double
if is trying to like cover for him, so he goes and dives with him.
Sometimes double if is just going for the jungle by himself. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, so then the Dignitas game, remember he was playing Sivir? He was just running through when he didn't even need to, just give over a death. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is bad.
Closer ends up having his best game of the split because they give him Viego. They give Closer Viego, and he has his arguably only good game he had the entire split. They win the only game they need against NRG. NRG plays exceptionally pretty bad against teams worse than them, and they make the playoffs. That's it. I mean, how this split has been. I don't know how they're gonna fare in playoffs. I mean,
they're gonna wherever. Okay, I have to see how the playoff because
they face the winner of the loser of the second round. Yeah, so they would face either NRG or Team Liquid. Yeah. That's what they face.
Yeah, they could beat NRG. Team Liquid, Team Liquid is
really just depends on which TL shows up that day. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like
so Dig would face one of the fucking hell, man. Dig would face one of these two, and 100 Thieves would face one of these two.
Yep.
Oof. NRG is definitely beatable from a lower team
standpoint. NRG and TSM are both beatable. That's the thing. There's a world where 100 Thieves and Dig both advance. There's a world. Because TSM
also remember, it's best of 5 this time around. It's not just the BO1 one game scenario. It's more games attached to this as well, which also can kind of warp your perception of how a team is actually based off, a best of series rather than just, with Pokemon, you say it's just BO1s, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 100 Thieves.
Best in the best of 3, but no, I'm thinking
100 Thieves. I mean, someday, I don't even know. He was there.
He was there, but like the synergy got disconnected once they left. Because
did someday lose faith in Closer? I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think he lost faith in him. I think because from seeing the way they play, I think he's trying to gain that synergy back with Closer. It's taking longer than expected.
Oh yeah, you were right. Mm-hmm. They had the 2-0 over FlyQuest. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they were
screwed no matter what.
Yeah, they were screwed because I looked it up right before. FlyQuest needed to win every game because I knew they lost to one. I forgot that they lost to Dig twice.
Remember how did these beat FlyQuest week 1? Remember that they had that perfect game against them? I remember that. Yeah.
No. I knew 100 Thieves beat them twice. I forgot Dig beat them twice. I saw Dig beat him once. I knew Dig beat him once, but I forgot it was twice. That was the FlyQuest is done.
Who else is here? Quid. It really just depends on which he can play. Jace and Azir.
I feel bad for Quid because they just threw him the fucking. They should have just got somebody from here, and
he's playing so safe. Like he's playing like he has no confidence in his team. Like he doesn't like he can actually play the game.
He doesn't want to be the reason why they lost. That's the issue. I see how he plays.
He wants to be the reason why they win, but the champions he's getting, he
wants to be the reason why they win, but not the reason why they lose. That's why he's playing. He's playing
like really conservatively for some reason.
He's like a Pokemon when players are playing to tie and not win. Because if you know you can't win, all you need to do is get to a certain play style or game 3, and you know you're not losing. Because he's playing. He does not want to be the reason why they lose. He does not want to be tenacity. That is like I've seen players like that. Like I said, there was a mental boom that happened once Tenacity was the last death. He missed something. He missed that. Was it? He missed the saying that last team fight and they got wiped off and they lost. It was like and Tenacity got all the blame. It should have been the whole team. Like I said, it's the whole thing. Sometimes when something happens like that and you were the team favorite, and it's like because no one believed Go to Guardian was this good.
Well, the thing here is he as a mid laner, you're gonna get all the blame anyway. Either the mid or the jungler, mid laner or the jungler gets all the blame, and Closer been getting blamed for the entire split anyway. Yeah, and obviously rightfully so. He's playing pretty bad most of the split.
No, the whole team was playing bad. I don't know why people keep throwing out him. The whole team was playing bad.
No, he was playing legitimately bad.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. He was playing bad, but I'm gonna tell you why it was the bot lane fault. Why the fuck is Doublelift going through fucking jungle by himself? You're not calling.
They would be starting team fights based off Closer and Quid. Remember? Unless you're talking about the games that they isolated.
I'm talking about bot lane. 100 Thieves was losing mostly because of bot lane. Look at those games.
Oh yeah,
again.
yeah. Oh, no, I was gonna touch on them right now.
Closer at some point. I think he gave up. He gave up on the two guys in the bottom lane because
they have no synergy. Even outside of Doublelift's, recent like shit. Outside of Doublelift and his recent like hospital shit, Double and Busio have horrible synergy. I love how the LCS team just specifically dropped that narrative. They had terrible synergy. I don't know where the people thought it was good at. It was something good.
No, not. They have good synergy, but it's not showing up on the thing. Like
maybe they're having a situation where they think they're stronger than they are, but I don't think it ever came together for them to split. Honestly.
It's the same thing with FBI and Huhi last year. They both see the game in a certain way where it's counterproductive. Like if you would have swapped Busio and Quid, I think 100 Seeds is 11-7. I think they. This might be a crazy and a hot take.
Okay.
I would probably swap out Busio and Quid. I'll probably put Busio mid and Quid support. It's crazy.
I mean, 1 second. Because this Golden Guardians game really threw it. It was their game. It was a tiebreaker game against Dig, and it was their Golden Guardians game.
I mean, dude, I've seen these games already. I don't need to see these games again, man.
Because there's a part. There's a part of it where they're actually winning the game. There's a part of it they're actually winning it. There's a part where Quid played really well on his year to get them a pick onto Stixay or Gory. They got to pick onto Gory or Stixay because the game had been back and forth the entire time. It was a pretty close game.
I'm gonna tell you why they weren't winning. Golden Guard.
No, I say it was pretty close.
Golden Guard has been doing that all season. Golden Guard is known for doing dumb shit mid to late game, and then there's like
because I remember Gory for some reason thought he could face check a Cassante. Like why would he do that? That made no sense. You should never do that. With he had flash up and chose to just walk next to the Cassante. I just didn't know why that happened, but that was probably their closest game they played this split where they actually looked like that's
no,
where
they actually looked good, but they never had a chance where they could fully close it out.
Well, the problem with that game was because they lost track of Zaya. If you lose track of Zaya in team fights, you can't really actually play.
And exactly, there's always one thing they tend to forget. Oh, this person's there. There's always a blind spot they keep forgetting about, and that's why they keep losing games that are winnable. Or sometimes they just start off so bad that
the Dignitas game they started out pretty decent actually, and then it just went to the shitter. Oh, what the heck? Epilepsy. What the hell? This Porygon from Pokemon? What the hell? All right, so Dignitas. They kicked our moot, ended up getting 7th.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. They got Richin, who I thought actually played pretty well. He had a slump toward the back end of the split, but it wasn't as bad enough to the point where it was going to tank their season because him and Jensen had already got them enough wins to the point where they were pretty solidified. Keep in mind, guys, this is how bad the LCS split was. Usually the cutoff is like 9 wins. There's 3 teams down here that get 9 wins.
Yeah, you kept saying, they're going to get to 9 wins. No, they don't.
I mean, for most splits, it's always been 9. Most every split usually gets to 9 wins. You make playoffs. It's been so bad to split. Teams have been losing so much. Fuck that. I mean,
because there's 2 teams on top that win a lot, and then the other teams beat up on each other. Plus, the bad teams win. Yeah. Now you keep every team around because it's usually, but like when there's teams 9-9, there's usually teams that are 2-16. That's why it's like the 2 teams on the bottom are the ones like there's one team that goes 2-16 that beats the team that's above them, but that team above them catches one of these good teams on a bad day. It's like usually those because usually
they swapped out
4-14.
They swapped out Diamond with Poom, and other people said that Poom didn't play that well. I mean, guys, Poom literally started playing like probably less than 3 games ago, maybe.
Yeah, Poom didn't look too good, but he was playing better than Diamond.
And the thing here is I don't want to excuses, but he literally just started with a brand new team. I mean, I can't expect him to have perfect synergy with his entire team within 3 games. That's just not possible.
He did look more efficient than Diamond, though.
That's true. Well, Diamonds can eat all the KFC he wants now because he's going to be unemployed, and rightfully so. But that's a ridiculous toss. I mean, it was nice to see Jensen.
I want to say all the KFC because eventually he's going to go broke.
Oh, shit. Jensen, he had a pretty good split overall. I was impressed with him. Santorin, he existed,
his blood pressure's down. Jensen's blood pressure's down because now he's not yelling at our mood. And fucking, who's the guy? Who was the support last season? Last split?
No, it was Balfrost, then Ignar.
Yeah, Ignar. Jensen wanted to fucking kill Ignar in our move. That just go back and look at some of the games how Ignar just be Jensen be looking at his teammates. Oh my god.
Now when he gets off stage, he can just breathe a sigh of relief. You know we're bad, but you know what? At least we're not as shit. Yeah. At least we're not the worst. You could be
at least
bad.
I got a top lane getting paid. I got a top lane paying $200,000 to go own 6 in lane, own 6 in 15 minutes. Like, oh my god.
Okay, after that, we have TSM. TSM, this is an odd team to talk about. They actually finished higher than most of us had them predicted. But to be fair, we had them at like 7th. They finished 6th. So
I don't know, 7th, 8th. Add 7th, 8th. Yeah.
And so if you power continue to finish like 8th, 7th, and they finish like 6th, is that really too far off, honestly?
They literally are mid. They are middle.
Team Solo.
Mid. Team Solo mid in the middle.
This is okay. Haunter looked awful most of the split. I think he was trying to be unemployed. There's no way he gets a spot next year. No way. He ran it the entire year. Or sorry, he ran the whole split.
Wasn't he already gone or in the?
He was in Kiss's Academy team. Then they kicked him. Then they brought him back. It's TSM, man. It's always fucking up.
I was like, hasn't he been playing for 10 years?
Yeah, he won championships with TSM a long time ago. He won 3, actually. Yeah. He did a 3-peat when he had Bjergsen and Double Lift and Wild Turtle too. Crazy, he won one of those Double Lift and one with Wild Turtle actually. Hunter pretty much ran it the entire split. Boogie is just the most, not even coin flip. He's just so meh. He doesn't do anything. Yep. He just kind of he's like a better. He can be more aggressive than Kenvi, but his lows are just about as bad as Kenvi's is. He's just either. It's like he either goes Super Saiyan or he's like Krillin. That makes sense. That's kind of what Boogie is. Then you had Insanity, who they brought up from Academy, who actually did look good. I was glad and NA Mid came up and looked good as he did. He'll probably get for playoffs. I don't know how he's gonna fare in his first playoff scenario, but I feel like Insanity solid split overall. Well, Turtle looked just meh. No real standout games. He's just meh. Also, fun fact: Well, Turtle has the most games played in the LCS ever. Bjergsen is the second highest at this point now.
Yeah.
And then Chine, who cannot play engaged supports whatsoever. If TSM were in playoffs and they lock in Chime playmakers, just give the series over. Just grief that shit. Because he cannot play Rakan, Alistar, Leona, Rail. He's a terrible, terrible engaged support player. If he plays Enchanters, might have a chance of winning. TSM ended off this split with a 4-game losing streak. This is not a good team. I don't know why people thought they're winning this week. They're a bit better than we thought. No. A lot of the games that they even got wins over was because the team actually just messed up. It wasn't doing anything. The team was winning, actually just griefed. That was most of the scenario that went through. Yeah, TSM getting 6. They fucking stink. NRG. I don't know. I think. Okay, Dokla's had not a good split either. Just like with Haunter. Probably a bit better in some cases. The jungler Contracts had a pretty good split overall, despite their wins and losses. I think Palafox, for me, he'd be in that conversation for top 4 mid. I think he had a pretty standout split overall himself.
Yeah.
FBI, I thought looked pretty good. He was definitely an upgrade over Luger, as I said.
Yep.
And Ignar, he's there. He exists.
Yeah, he was playing League of Legends.
But it's crazy how I said they had some pretty good players that you probably maybe have the conversation for all pro. This combination of players does not work together. They cannot play against bad teams. Now, to be fair, in playoffs, you're gonna have more than one BO1 a week. So The thing here people don't understand is for this split in particular, we played 3 individual games themselves. You know? So I mean, in best of fives, you can prep for a team more better than you could prep for like 3 teams, right? It's easier to prep for one deck compared to like 3 other decks, obviously.
Yeah.
But the thing here from their gameplay is it never really feels like they're super in control of a game. It always feels like it's just a massive coin flip, what game they're playing, honestly. Some games they smash, some games they get smashed, some games they only really win because another player just fucks up and then somehow they see it and they can kind of just capitalize on it. It's a very, very weird, inconsistent team. But the players themselves, are they all the worst in their positions? No, not really. I mean, I can see why they got 9 wins. It's just, if you look at a lot of those games, you're like, this is not good, actually. But when it does come together, it does look pretty good. I'll say that. But overall, I can see why they got 5th. They're inconsistently consistent. That's the best way to sum it up.
Yep.
Team Liquid, they got rid of Harry, which they should have already did at the beginning part of the split. Honestly, they probably got rid of Harry. They probably have a better standing record, honestly. Summit had pretty good split. I'll say that he had a pretty good split overall. Definitely a top 3 LCS top laner. Piosik existed like he should. I don't think he had any standout games actually. I'm noticing a trend here. All these players played pretty just meh for the whole split. It's gonna be hard picking out all pro teams for the split. Oh Lord Jesus. APA came in and looked better than Harry. No, I don't think. Do I think he's as good as Insanity? I don't know, honestly. I think he just looks better than Harry because Harry was playing just as bad as he was. But he did look pretty standard overall. Just for what they needed as a mid laner. Yan and Core JJ, they played pretty good over the split. Despite that, they had that rough first half, but I think they played better on the second half of it, honestly. Oh, sorry, man. Did you want to say anything about TSM, NRG, or Team Liquid actually?
Energy is a goddamn enigma. I don't understand this team. I don't understand this team. You beat 100 seeds when they're good, but you lose them when they're bad. That's okay. TSM, and it was the same thing I was saying before about TSM. Like TSM just playing to finish out the contract, and then they're gonna move to China more likely. They're like one of those two. I feel like those teams are going to be the ones that go if they didn't toss in 100 seasons respectively.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be them because I don't see Evil Geniuses or Team Liquid losing to either. No, Energy could probably upset Team Liquid. I
can see a world where they do because Team Liquid doesn't look that good.
And
I mean, not that it's Energy. That's just
Energy's going to be the team if they lose to Team Liquid. They're loser to whoever they got to face. They're losing to. It's just them. If they beat Team Liquid, this might be
Would it be crazy if I said this? I think NRG has higher highs than Team Liquid, but extremely low floor, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no.
In team fights, I'm taking FBI over Yawn. I'm taking Palfox over APA, and I'm taking Contracts over Piosik right now. That's just me.
Nah, but I'm taking Piosik over Contracts.
No way.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team around them. I think.
Well, it all depends.
I think Contract is better, but I think Piosik had like I like APA over Palfox, but I think Palfox is better. I think Dokla just doesn't have that much air left.
Is going to rip Dokla apart in the playoffs. Oh my god, he's about to just fist that dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad for FBI because he has to play with Ignar against because Core J is gonna like dissect everything Ignar does. It's like he's just gonna dissect it. Like that's what Core JJ does. He's able to dissect other supporters' shit. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the final 3 teams. Evil Geniuses. So a lot of people would ask, like, well, if they started out so well with Armal, why would they switch him out? Guys, these guys play scrims, okay? So if they played scrims and they lost a lot of games with Armal, they probably went, you know what? Let's try our Academy Jungler. Couldn't be anything worse, right? If shit gets that bad and your team loses actually faith in you.
Plus, Armal was the reason why they were like losing a lot of like jungle pressure. He was just getting.
Yeah, most of the time he can't smite properly. He can't team fight well. His objective timings with how he would go to dragons and Riptails. His gameplay started out really good. I'm not gonna deny that, but it just degraded. And I was like, you know what? That's Greg.
I wouldn't even say it started. I wouldn't even say he started great. I think teams just didn't figure out. I think once he got figured out,
Yeah, because he's a very predictable jungler. Like once he got figured out, his game's over.
His game completely fell apart. That's like once you find out how to beat a team.
Passing for the last fucking 3 weeks. I'm like, anybody gotta catch on to this? He's not doing anything super special here. I think he was mind gaming. You're like, yeah, Grig mind gaming someone. That's crazy. Jojo Pion, obviously front runner for MVP. Thought he had a great split, really standout split he actually had. Revenge, he had a good Renekton game, he had a good Scion game. He had 2 good games more than he did last year. That's the best thing I'll say about him. Sheedon came in, looked pretty okay. I have to see a little bit more of this guy to really have an actual answer for him. Unforgiven and Ayla's bot lane was, I think, I don't know how would you really talk about them. That's a weird bot lane. When it comes together for them, it's pretty, like, you can see why they're together. Yeah. But when they're not on the same page, it looks pretty bad.
Oh, it's game ending because it's just Ayla and Unforgiven.
Yeah. I thought it was just me, but when I'm looking at their bot lane, it's like I can see why they're together. But the problem here is when they don't have an advantage in lane, unlike other bot lanes, they just kind of just stay and do nothing. They don't move out of lane. Ayla doesn't roam very well. And it just kind of
every time he does roam, he always roams into
he always fails.
It just gets caught out. I'm like, wait, Ayla, why are you in middle? Oh God, okay.
Ayla, why are you in mid lane with no hex tech flash? Oh wait, he's dead. Oh wait, they just griefed over 5 plates bot. All right, game's over. just grief this. Just throw the shit in the trash.
They got JoJo over there trying to come to his rescue. No, just sometimes I don't understand why they let Photon die, but sometimes it's like Photon's the top laner. That's mean he has more pressure to kind of fight back. If support gets caught, you just gotta let him die. There's no saving support. You can save a top laner. You can't save a support. Once the support goes, you gotta FF and go next. It's at that point.
All right. Final 2 teams from the Spring Split Finals. Crazy. Yeah. Our Spring Split finalists and MSI 2 teams finished top 2 in summer. We got there in the end.
Yep.
We got there. It might have been a little bumpy. You might have got there. You were driving to a girl's house. You driving to your girl's house. She's like, "Hey, baby, I got some nice lingerie on for you. I'll let you lick my whole asshole and pussy for the whole night. You just got to drive 100 miles to see me." Kind of going to Gardens like, "We'll get there. Might be a little bumpy, but we'll get there, actually." Yeah. And they finally got there. So Golden Guardians had their best regular season ever. I thought Stixay, overall, from given how shitty
their best year in general ever.
It's their best year, actually. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Stixay had a pretty solid, okay split overall. He wasn't as shitty as he was last split. Thank God. If he was that bad last split as was this split, I'd have been like, just throw this guy in the garbage. Actually, Huhi, pretty good for the most part. I think he played pretty good.
Yeah, he's fine with the 80s. He's fine with the ADC that can't talk back to him. That's what it is.
So maybe someone he enjoys playing with more. He likes
maybe that too. But it also is Stixay can't talk back because it's like, what has Stixay done in the last couple of years?
I mean, existed in NA Academy.
Exactly. Stixay has to be humble. While FBA doesn't have to be humble.
Would you have Huhi in your all-pro teams for like support probably on the split?
Yeah.
He played really well this split actually.
Who else am I putting over? I'm not putting Zen over him.
Oh, Zen. Oh no, probably not. Damn, for sure not. Diamond.
In a fooding competition.
You have Fleshy.
The only support I might put over Huhi is probably Core JJ, but that's like. Who else?
I don't even think Core JJ really even had a standout split or anything.
But it's like, look at all the support from all the teams.
Yeah.
Who are you putting Ignar?
No, for
you
sure.
Putting Ayla? Ayla.
First half of the split, Ayla maybe, but no. To be honest here, no.
You putting on Poon, Diamond, Bucio? Who?
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Our support's terrible over here. Zen, not on enchanters.
Think about the top 3 teams and top 4 teams. Look at the support: Zen, Huhi, Corey JJ, and Ayla. One of them is not going to make it. Who out of those four? Who would you take out?
Maybe you're right. Yeah, because the thing is, it's gonna look all janky to split with all pro teams. I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the hardest splits to do all pro teams in MVP. That's
This might
MVP.
be one of the easiest ones because,
Maybe you're right. Yeah,
because I can tell you who the number one ADC is, Berserker.
Yeah.
You say otherwise, you sucking dick.
if someone tells me Wild Turtle, someone told me Wild Turtle was, I'm like, all right, bro, we ain't talking anymore about League. We're done.
Or someone says, oh, double lift. Stop sucking dick. Why you sucking dick? Why you got double his dick down your throat? Like
gargling his balls. There we go.
Yeah, it's like who was like,
a lot of these ADCs outside of like
after this,
Berserker and Unforgiven, they've had some pretty bad splits.
Yeah, because like after this, like we could just talk about who the top three in each position. Like,
so let's finish off Golden Guardians and Cloud9. So Golden Guardians, Licorice, outside of a few bad games here and there, looked pretty good for the most part. Definitely top 2 top laner. River, I think he had a pretty suspect split, but
when his brain is working, he's one of the better
junglers. Yeah. When his brain is not working, man, it's looking pretty rough out there. Those Nautilus games
for Golden Guardians, because Golden Guardians could, 50 minutes they only played at one point. Man, I ain't trying to see that shit. I mean, I don't mind.
The LCS analyst said Gory had a pretty suspect. I was like, wait, which games did you watch? He was the main, outside of a few flubs here and there. He was one of the main reasons why they even
River
won
and
games.
Gory confused. I think they got River and Gory confused.
They had to have, because Gory had a pretty good split for the most part.
I was about to say. There was like 2 games. There was like 2 games where he was kind of.
That Ari one he just played was pretty suspect. I will say that.
No, that was just keep him up.
The man literally, I shit you not, people walked face front into a Cassante with flash up. It's like, what are you doing?
He got them.
Maybe you can't see.
He got those big cojones. Yeah, he must have saw Cassante was like fucking Gwen or something. Like that ain't it.
You can't see Cassante because he's black. You can't really see him in the league shadows.
Big old black dude, out there trying to get Gwen and Eeyore, but
they call him Jason Love.
No shit. Yeah, but he gonna come and get misfortune booty.
Oh Lord. Oh no. Okay. Cloud9. So the games that Cloud9 lost, a lot of people are going to be like, were they super close? No. Those games they lost were absolute stomps. They got completely stomped.
Who did they lose to again?
They lost to Team Liquid twice.
Yeah.
No. One of the games that was close. Oh, sorry. Out of all these 5 losses, that one game where Piosic dived and completely griefed the entire game essentially for a minute.
Yeah. Golden Guardians, they lost. Go to them and they beat each other. How they lose? NRG, I don't know how NRG is able to.
NRG beat them twice. Golden Guardians beat them once.
Go back and look at NRG schedule. Look at NRG.
From which week?
No. Up there where they show all the records.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Look at NRG. They 2-0 Cloud9, but they get 2-0 by Immortals. What the? See, that's the shit I don't understand. How do you beat the best team?
They went 0-2 to TSM, Immortals, and they went 1-1 with everyone else.
Everybody, see, tell me how that worked. How do you beat? Look, no, see, NRG is the epitome of we can play up to their best and play down to the worst.
The funniest thing about that, dude, they had the best win record against top teams. They had like so let's see, they beat top teams. So we have 1, 3, 4. Oh, what do you consider? I mean, they said top teams. Team Liquid, right?
Okay. My thing is every team above them, every team below. Okay, see, they went 2-0 against Cloud9, 2-0 against Golden Guardians. Mm-hmm. They went 1-1 with Team Liquid and 1-1 with EG.
Wait a minute. They
went 6-2 against the best teams, but then against the worst teams, everybody below them, they went. FlyQuest, they went 1-1. Dig, they went 1-1. 100 Seeds, they went 1-1. Right there, that is 3-3.
Yeah, they have the best record for best teams.
They went 3-7 against everybody else, but I don't understand this. How do you just beat the brakes off Cloud9 and then Immortals beat the brakes off?
Forget these games that they beat the best teams. These aren't close games. They actually played with their brains on.
Stomps, but then they turn their brain off against Immortals twice. Tell me how, and then they TSM just count whatever energy does. TSM just counters it and just beats them. I don't understand. I don't understand NRG.
We clipped that Eric July clip where he said, "I don't understand it. We just need it. We need it. We need to get that."
People smoke crack and they shouldn't do that. NRG loses to Morals and they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't. You beat. Imagine if NRG had their brand on against Morals and TSM. These motherfuckers are 13-5, right along with Cloud9. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Imagine if they beat the worst team. NRG is the number 1 seed because they've beaten both the best teams.
Yeah.
If
they had actually a good winning record against the bad teams, they might actually end up the best team.
No. They will
by record standing. I mean,
no, by record tiebreaker. Neither of them could. There would be no tiebreaker game. If NRG would have beat Immortals and TSM,
right?
Golden Guardians and Cloud9 would be playing for the second seed. TSM would have the NRG would have the first seed because of the tiebreaker over those two teams. See, right. I don't see that. I don't understand. I don't see. They are the Detroit Lions. No, not Detroit Lions. Minnesota Vikings. Because the Minnesota Vikings is the team that will beat the Packers, but they get blown out by the Lions. And you're trying to think, what are you doing? What in what world do you let the Detroit Lions come back from like 20 in the fourth quarter to beat you, but then you beat the Packers by 30? Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I will never understand the energy. But
so for Cloud9, for the most of the split, like outside of that one TL game, the one where Piosik basically griefed the game, but they somehow lost it. Yeah. Those losses there were pretty big stomps. One of the ones they got this week, remember that Menace Jace game? Yeah. I don't know if that was bad team coordination. I don't know if he had a bad day. I think he was trying to run it down because there's no way you TP that bad.
Not try. He was actually running it down.
That Jace game, I was like, it started out kind of well for him. And I was like, oh, okay. He's going to pop up like he did against that 100 Days game he had where he had Jace. I was like, no. I don't know what Jace he was playing that day. But the game that they lost initially in this week, oh my goodness. He was
playing Jace. He was playing Jason Love.
No, he was on... He was playing Jace on the enemy team. I don't know who PayPal'd him that much money to play Jace that bad, but that was
the plug did.
So for a Menace, I know people have said that. Someone asked me in the Cloud9 Facebook group, do I see him being on the team next year? Guys, Jack has literally switched the team when they've won championships. The team is changing no matter if you like these players or not. That's just going to happen. It all just depends on who do you think is going to get swapped out. Do I think Menace had a really, really bad split? No. He had some very bad games, but do I think he had a really bad split where he's like worst midlaner ever in LCS? No way. Do I think he has a lot of flaws to him? Yes. Do I think he has a low floor? Just depends on which matchup he's playing. He is a guy where he likes to play super aggressive when he doesn't need to. There's no reason to play super aggressive in certain scenarios where he knows he can't out 1v1 you. But if he does know he has an advantage against you, he will push you to the edge. It's a very interesting player. I do like watching him play. It's a very interesting play style he has. Do I think he's going to get cut from Cloud9? Yes, I do. I just don't think they'll be keeping him after this year. But if he wins you titles, you got the most out of him anyway, and he's going to have a set career anyway at that point.
Yep.
So, Fudge, what I know about Fudge is even if Fudge plays bad, no one talks shit about him. He could actually go in lane, run it down, go 0-50. He goes 0-50 on the stall league. He could go like 0-3. No one would honestly say shit. They would just go, but he talked nice in an interview. The fuck that got to do with anything? Like, Fudge is the type of guy who will explain to you why he ran it down. And in your brain, you're like, but did you still run it down? He's like, but yeah, I know what I saw. You turbo sprinted that shit. I know people said Blabber should be in the conversation for MVP. I
think it's Berserker.
I think, like with Berserker, there's other players that deserve the MVP over him. I wouldn't give Blabber it over Jojo Pion, or Berserker. I would probably put Licorice in the conversation over Blabber first, or Gory, or Huhi.
Gory, yes. Gory.
Huhi definitely had a pretty.
Licorice.
Huhi definitely had an amazing split.
I think Blabber's more impactful games are better than Licorice's impactful games.
I think or the Golden Guardians, if you don't want to pick Licorice, you can pick. I think Huhi had a great sign-out split. I think that should be, nodded. Yeah, I don't think Blabber did anything bad this split. He's never really had a truly bad split. He's never really even had multiple bad weeks on end. He's usually always had like a game bad, maybe in the span of like a few weeks. Do I think Blabber's getting switched up? Definitely not. Like, that's not happening. I mean, if that happens, it's a pretty big thing for Cloud9. But overall, for the entire split, I think Fudge was pretty solid for the most part. He had some really, really suspect games, but overall, he was fine. Blabber was good. Menace was good for the most part.
Yep.
Berserker, good for the most part. MVP candidate, probably as well. Zen was pretty bad this split, guys. Zen's not being your support anymore, guys. There are games he stands out, and people only talk about his standout games. The games where Zen loses is really bad.
He had one play of the game, and I think it was Friday. I knew it was one of these games.
Oh, it was the Rel game. Yeah, he played really well on Rel.
Yeah.
He played really well. He can play well. I'm not saying he can't. The thing here is I could never see him as an actual support player. You know? It just kind of always feels like he's getting by just with his knowledge of these champions, not actually impacting the game. Maybe I'm crazy for that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think just overall for the Cloud9 team, getting back-to-back first place finishes, I think if you're looking at this split and last split, they stomped the split harder last split than this one. This one, it looked like there was some roughness going on.
There was cracks. There was cracks shown.
I mean, mid he had said in the D-Gun interview there was some heated arguments, and you know that's what you need at a top teams. Obviously, you need those kind of arguments. But last split,
this team that they got too cocky. They was trying to shit on EG, and then NRG comes and stomps the fuck out of them. Like, shut the fuck up. That's their problem. Like, you stay the fuck off of social media because EG should talk shit. Them motherfuckers is completely broken. You don't got to shit talk.
EG's out here literally swapping out their main starting jungler that they literally said was going to be their pivotal vital point going to the split for their fucking academy jungler.
Yep.
Crazy. All right, so that's the LCS for the most part. I didn't say this. The broadcast did a great job throughout the entire year. They did a great job. I wish we could have went for Wednesday. We could have met Cutie Cinderella. I'd been like, "Ayo, girl, what it tastes like."
Yeah, no. Yeah, she said, "Oh, some guy asked me what it tastes like," and if she's gonna say that on one of her streams, I'll be like, yeah, no, he's a little slow, but you gotta just
you ain't shit."
Shit, man.
All right,
just tell them that it tastes like peaches. It just
tastes
move
like
on.
Sweet watermelon. That's what you gotta tell girls.
You don't even like watermelon. What the?
I could stomach some watermelon for a bitch.
You know, stomach some watermelon for a bitch. Okay. MSK, I'm a stomach some watermelon for a bitch.
Does that make sense?
You know, it makes sense. It's crazy, but it makes sense.
All right, let's go to the playoffs. The schedules for the playoffs should be out for the LCS.
Yeah, they got about on YouTube. They got
It's so weird how LoL Esports doesn't have them updated, but Leaguepedia does. All right, so I'll go back to Leaguepedia. So, who do you have for the first matches? It's TSM, EG, and then after that's TL, NRG. Thursday, Friday.
I got EG, and I got EG gets TSM.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say TL, but also part of me thinks NRG is going to win. That second one is such a coin toss because NRG is just so hot and cold with this shit. I'm gonna go Team Liquid, but I will not be surprised if NRG wins.
Okay. EG TSM was first. I'm going. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's EG, and for NL. Oh my god. NRG Team Liquid. I'll say NRG. EG, I think win 3-1. No, EG 3-0. TSM's terrible. EG 3-0.
I say EG 3-1 because EG's going to team fight and lose a game. That's what they do. They get cocky. No, this was EG's gonna go up 2-0 and then lose game 3 just because they got to.
When they go 2-0 and then they almost get reverse swept, that's when you got to start. You're like, oh god, there's some cracks here. You know.
Yeah.
I'll say this right now. If these teams go to game 5 with each other.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, my thing is whoever loses, who faces who if they lose?
Okay, so Dig faces the loser out of EGTSM. Hunter Thieves faces the loser out of TL NRG. So technically, you kind of have the worst one.
No,
that's
we
why
got the better one.
that's why it was imperative they actually finish 7th, because with 7th you would get a much more favorably, quote unquote,
Nah,
easier matchup.
I
But all
think
these teams are essentially the same strength anyway.
I
There's
think
no
Dick
real worse matchup, honestly.
I think Dick got the worst one because Dick got the
No, you're right, because if
you know
if
it is too.
what happened?
If EG wins, they have to face TSM.
That's not hard at all. There's no way that should be hard.
But
it's Dignitas too. And you're like, fuck.
Because NRG, we see how they play into 100 C's now. They don't take them seriously and they lose. And Team Liquid.
Do you think that NRG will be a better prepped team against 100 Thieves than Team Liquid?
I think Team Liquid would be better prepped.
I think Team Liquid would actually crack under the pressure and might actually drop the series to them if they get down there.
Depends on how they lose. If they lose 3-0, they beat 100 C's. If they get reverse swept, they're done. Nah.
Someone said, don't count out Double from the playoffs. Guys, Double might not be playing anymore after this year, given his recent situation.
I saw some stuff on Reddit. Double might be done, period, after this season. It's the whole thing with Faker. I think Faker's going to come back from, the Earl Monroe kind of thing for the Knicks. He's going to come, except Earl Monroe didn't retire after that game, I think.
Who we got?
I think Faker, this might be Faker's last year.
Jesus freak. Where's my playoffs at? Playoffs should be right here. All right, so I'll say NRG beat Team Liquid. I'm going to say that series probably goes the distance. I think that's going to be a 3-2 for NRG.
I think that's going to be a sweep, but I don't know.
For EG TSM, I'm going to say EG win 3-0.
I think EG was 3-1.
And that's it, because we have to wait until next week for Thursday, Friday. All right, so that's done. And we're going to go talk about the LEC really quickly, and then that's it, honestly. All right, the LEC 2023 Summer
Both
Split.
teams that War with Roof were in BDS and SK both got eliminated. Fuck, I told you TR Radic was...
Also, don't forget, man, Astralis didn't even make it either. Don't forget, Astralis didn't make it either.
Nigga.
Astralis got 9th, didn't even get 8th. Astralis was 3-6.
SK fucked around and Irrelevant became Irrelevant, his name. That ain't that good? Motherfucker just died in team fights. Irrelevant really lived up to his name. He was irrelevant in any of the team fights.
Okay, so today's games, I did watch them. I'm caught up on every point.
2-0 stomp. Yes, it was.
Okay, so where are we at now with this? So your final 4 teams are G2, XL, Team Heretics. Flacket and Yankos were on G2 last year. And then you have Fnatic. Abadage pulling it out again. Abadage went to Europe and was like, I'm going Super Saiyan.
Okay, how does Worlds work with LEC? Because I know the whole.
Well, these guys are in the season finals, right? All these teams, right? There's no more championship point bullshit. Like this is your final 4, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically whoever is the first loser. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the 4th team. Okay. So whoever loses the first, so whoever is the loser of I think round 2 is the 4th seed.
Okay, pretty much whoever gets to the finals out of G2, if
G2 or XL make the finals, they're
guaranteed. Safe. They're guaranteed Worlds without
having to go through that 4th place BO5. Okay. Then whoever makes it to the finals, obviously, I'm pretty sure they're good.
I was thinking, who do you think is going to be the 4th place? I'm saying T Heretics.
Okay, so today's games, for SK, I felt bad for Irrelevant in game 1. He really
lived up to his name. He lived up to.
That was the second game, the silent game. He was pretty bad. But that first game, when he was playing Jax against Oscarin, there's nothing you can do. First of all, even if you're stomping top lane as hard as he was in game 1 with Jax, well, SK's comp is really bad. They had Kaisa mid. What the fuck? I want to show people how bad this comp really was. This was awful. This might have been one of the worst comps I've ever seen.
Worst.
That you draft.
It was the worst.
That comp they had in game 1 against Fnatic. Because the thing with SK Gaming in this series today is it was just a misfire of just bad execution. DOS messing up point blank Alistar combos. That's the thing. As I said, all year with SK, when these guys get to a high clutch situation, they can't perform very well. That's because when you get, some would say, the playoffs is actual League of Legends to a certain extent. You know, when you get to a high pressure situation, this is what really matters. They, that's giving credit to them. This is one of their best years had in a long time. But remember against Mad Lions in winter, they lost that bet. They lost that close series. I was 3-2, but they lost it 2-3. In spring, they bombed out in the groups in the BO3 stage, and then right here against Fnatic today, they lost against Fnatic. No, they lost against. So who did they lose to initially first? It was the Fnatic, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the Fnatic. It has to be. Also, I'm wrong. No, they lost to XL initially first. So all year, Fnatic has beaten SK. No, sorry. All year, SK had beaten Fnatic. And at the moment where it really mattered, Fnatic beat them. That is insane. I mean, their game after game one, I think they had all just were like, I'm fucking finished with this team. I want to show people this terrible draft they gave Irrelevant for game one. This was fucking abysmally bad. If you draft this for me, I'm not playing this on stage. I will get up and I will walk off. I am not playing that. I was like, you coach, you trying to play this shit out? You can play this shit out. I'm not playing this shit out. Yeah. All right, here. I'm playing this after this ad. Come on. All right, so their comp was, I knew it. I knew it. It was Jax, Tristana, Sejuani, Kaisa, Alistar. That's their fucking comp for game one. Into a Zaya, Rakan, Annie, Morel, and Gangplank. Really? That's just mega draft gap. That's not a draft gap and like, oh, we kind of got a few worse picks here and there. Well, that is to get all the shit out. What kind of comp is that, SK? So Irrelevant plays well in game one, doesn't matter. Goes to game two, plays Sion, griefs the entire game. I had never seen a guy grief as bad as he was playing Sion. It was, you can tell he just mentally just destroyed at that point. The BDS Heretic series, Lebrov is just so bad. Adam got got by Evie. Crowny had a bad series. Nook just had a bad series. The Heretics, they pulled it out. They're top four. They're a top 4 team. Is there anything else you want to say about the LEC, man? That's just kind of like the guys. It's just a general gist of the LEC, honestly. Mad Lions 9-game losing streak to end the season. Actually,
I guess all 4 teams right in my Discord. I guess all 4 teams right. I literally said G2's gonna be.
What made you not pick Mad Lions? I thought you loved them.
Nah, never cared for them.
Oh Lord, Mad Lions. I just don't know what's going on anymore.
XL because of Aberdage. Yeah. It was literally XL was only because of Aberdage. It was everybody else. I was like, eh. Team Hieratics, I was like, every might be the most incompetent top laner in the whole LEC, but the rest of the team works. That's why it's like.
Because the thing here with Mad Lions is that game 2 that was really close against Fnatic didn't matter at that point. There's no way. First of all, if you let a Jace get that far ahead, I don't care if you're fucking anybody. You're gonna win the game at that point. Niski, arguably they had their best game in a while against Fnatic in that game too, but doesn't matter at that point. The comp was just, if you can't execute on a dive poke comp like that, it's just over. Plus, I'll be honest here, these guys don't want to play with each other anymore. It's over. You would think it, because this is what people said initially going into the season that this would be for them. These play styles are so chaotic. This can't possibly work with these guys.
Exactly.
What's crazy is that they got second in winter. They won the split in spring. But remember, guys, against the Fnatic series, they didn't have Reckless just running it down for them. A lot of people think that Fnatic might have that miracle run up to the finals. It's possible. I mean, they're definitely a huge threat right now. I do see their early game as being exploitable, but do I see these teams being good enough to do it? Probably not. See? You can see definite flaws in their early game. Also depends on who they're facing. So who do you have tomorrow? It's G2 versus XL for a match in the finals, actually.
G2 versus
XL. Yeah, that's the match of the week right there. Winner of this goes to the finals. And I'm pretty sure at Worlds. So I'm pretty sure whoever wins this will be the first representative announced for Worlds 2023, actually. There's some huge implications right there. I'm pretty sure G2 stomps this.
Yeah, I see XL making it a competitive 3-0.
I think if this series is close, that's pretty concerning for G2, but I think G2 just sweep, honestly.
I think if it's 3-2 is concerning. If it's a close 3-0, I don't see that that's concerning.
Yeah, those are just good games across the board then at that point.
Yeah.
I have G2 getting to the finals. And yeah, we'll predict for that late. Oh, Fnatic versus Heretics. Oh yeah, we won't be here on the show for that week. Yeah, so I predict G2 win 3-0 and Fnatic Heretics. That I think will be a 3-2. I think that's gonna go back and forth.
Yeah,
I'll put 3-2. I'll go Fnatic 3-2 over Heretics. But all right, guys, that's it. Honestly, we started a little bit early today because I got off work a little bit earlier. Make sure you guys watch the channel update video. It'll explain to you guys everything that's going on, everything that you need to get updated on. That way you won't be confused at all. Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out, actually?
This been a crazy week of League of Legends. Like I just hope everybody's healthy, going to the playoffs.
Oh, my bad, guys. The double lift thing. Shit. Okay. That's a double lift thing.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened.
Holy, thank God I remembered. I was going to fucking leave and forget. All right, double lift. The news around him 20 hours ago. So that wasn't too long ago. Okay. All right, .esports reported it first. Let's go over there. Thank you, Vin Diesel, for being outside. Thank you. All right, here is double lift taken into hospital after case of internal bleeding. Fuck. The LoL veteran posted images of himself in a hospital gown to Twitter last evening. So what's today? Today's Saturday? No, today's Sunday.
Yeah, today's Sunday.
So he went to the hospital around what? Late evening. So 7, 6?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
6, 7. Yeah.
Okay. You can look at all these photos. This man is not well. This man needs to just retire after the split, pending the results of this team. All-time great League of Legends player Doublelift was taken to a hospital last night, July 22nd, for a case of internal bleeding, according to a series of posts by him and his partner Lena. Oh, great, Lena. The post on Doublelift's Twitter page showcased images of the LoL star in a hospital gown, captioned "Rough Week" in the comment section. Lena confirmed to fans, Doublelift confirmed to fans that he has been suffering from internal bleeding for about a week, despite not being aware of it. Wow. That sucks. I really hope he feels better. That really does fucking suck. He could die from that shit. That is not good.
Yep.
So this was the pictures he posted. I really do hope he feels better. That honestly sucks. Oh, he looks really malnourished too. Is he eating properly?
A lot of ages is like that because I was saying the same thing about Malron.
Someone said, "You good, bro?" Oh my lord! Yeah, we went to a hospital for internal bleeding. He's definitely feeling great. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, I hope he gets well, but he looks
good job, man. It'll have to be the first 30-year-old to win the world. G got that copium. He got that copium on during thousand. That copium
balls. Fuck.
Yeah, man. He took a picture of those legs. Was like, ooh, double it.
Looking submissive and breedable. Oh, all right.
Brody. I'm calling the FBI you, man. Not FBI. I'm calling the FBI. They gonna get you. Oh, they gonna get you. Oh man, that is no. Just no. No.
Good God. That was just so. Those people are so cringe.
Them motherfucker need Jesus.
This is why people don't respect the League community. People like that are so weird. This guy is really suffering, and people are like, "You're breedable." That is so fucking cringe.
I be saying MSK needs Jesus, but some of those guys in that damn chat need Jesus. Them motherfuckers. Oh no.
Just under 48 hours ago, Double Fun 100 Thieves wrapped up the 2023 LCS regular season with a record of 7-11 in the summer split. The team squeaked into the playoffs with an 8th place finish, securing the final playoff berth that the postseason bracket had to offer. That is true. That is. Well, with that in mind, 100 Thieves will have the longest and most difficult road to the LCS title out of all the teams.
Hey man.
That is true. They are in probably the worst scenario possible. Added in with the fact that Quid has never been in a BL5 in his life, and their main star player Doublelift, he might be at 100% when they can start playing with him in about a week. So in about a week they'll start the losers bracket actually. So he has time to recover. He does. But I just hope he feels better before anything else happens afterly. So that's 100 Thieves. Faker's injury comeback delayed after T1 star misses original return date. Yeah, he was supposed to appear last night for them, and then that didn't happen, actually. Originally, Faker was supposed to make his comeback today, as the team had targeted a 2-week window for his return to the stage, with the match against Homalife being the earliest possible series that Faker could have been back in the mix. Today, however, Faker was nowhere to be seen, as mid-lane substitute Poopy played his 5th consecutive match with the team, while Faker continued to be sidelined. Moving forward, Faker's comeback date has been pushed back, and it's unlikely that he'll be able to play for T1 again during the 2023 regular season. In today's post-match press conference, T1 interim head coach Tom said the organization's goal for Faker is to see him make his return for the LCK playoffs, which are set to begin August 8th. He says Faker's still focusing on his treatment, Coach Tom said today, according to a translation by esports coverage site Invin Global. We'll be checking whether or not he can play, and if he can, we'll announce it separately. His condition is the most important, but we're trying to have him back by the playoffs. Yeah. With Faker's new return time frame in mind, it's likely, if not guaranteed, that he's going to miss all 5 of T1's remaining matches. In the 5 that he's already missed, T1 have posted a match record of 1-4, with all 4 of their losses coming by way of 2-0 sweeps. At the time of Faker's injury, T1 held a 6-2 record and were primed to compete for a top spot in the LCK playoff bracket. Now the team sit decisively in 5th place with a first-round bye realistically out of the picture. If there's one saving grace for T1 at the back end of the summer split, it's that falling out of playoff contention would take a Herculean losing streak. Since 4 out of the 5 teams below them in the standings have abysmal records of 3-10, T1 would need to win just 1 or 2 other remaining games against them to avoid a total collapse. Yeah, they only need to win 2 more BO5s.
2,
That's it. And you're essentially good to go. You might get in, maybe just winning one of them, maybe with a tiebreaker, actually. But you don't need any more BO5s with T1. Just get the wins you need to at the moment in time. When you do, just get them.
Yeah.
The team's next match is on Sunday against Oh, that didn't happen. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah. They had a match against Breon.
Yep, that already happened.
Yep.
Yeah, so this happened.
Thank you, Vin Diesel. But all right, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys back here next Sunday with more coverage on the LCS, LPL, LCK. I will have my LPL knowledge all caught up at that moment in time, so don't worry about that. Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out, actually?
Yeah, it's crazy week. Crazy week, man.
Yeah, playoffs are in full swing, and I love it. And the LCS, I mean, yes, is going to win the Worlds this year, right? Right?
Yeah, if COVID happens again and every other region gets locked down.
Oh, my goodness. What in the world is this? All right, everyone. We will see you guys next Sunday.